Hi everybody, I'm Miss Haskins. I wanted to welcome you to your first official math class of the year, Algebra 1. I wanted to introduce myself a little bit to you, introduce the class to you, give you some expectations and maybe some things that will be helpful as you're studying either at home or at school if we make it back. I've been teaching for 14 years, 2 years in Lebanon, Missouri, and the last 12 have been at Webster, and actually graduated from Webster in 1999. So if you need the 411 on your teachers, or if we make it back to school, you need help navigating, I am your lady. Come talk to me. We will get things figured out. I've taught everything from pre-algebra to pre-calculus, so please ask questions. I love doing math. I'm a super big nerd. When we do make it back to the classroom, you'll see that I have a wall full of math puns. Love those. Love terrible jokes. I'm just all around a big fat nerd, and I quite love it. So, let's talk about Algebra 1 for a second. Algebra 1 is the foundation class for all of the math classes after this, so it's really important that we start off strong. I really like to make sure that you can do more than just repeat a process or memorize a formula or follow an algorithm. My goal is for you to become a mathematical thinker, a problem solver. So we'll do a lot of things that you might not be used to. I'm going to ask you to notice and wonder and ask questions and work by yourself and work with a group and work with a partner and try things before I give you any hints. My favorite part about watching students learn how to do math is just letting you try stuff and poke at it and see what happens and see what works and see what doesn't work. Now, of course, there are going to be days that I will have to lecture, which I hate that word, but I'm going to have to lecture and give you some information. But a lot of days are going to just be me supporting you through your thinking process. So please make sure you ask questions. No question is a bad question. I am here to help you understand and build your confidence through this math class. So I'm really looking forward to that as we go forward. So a couple things that might be helpful for you to have while you're studying either at home or if we make it back at school, you're definitely going to need something to write on. Paper, graph paper would be really helpful since we will be graphing a lot. So if you have some graph paper, also something to write with. I prefer pencil, but pen works totally fine as well. A calculator of some sort. Now, since you're going to be doing a lot of this stuff online, the computer has a calculator. There are tons of online calculators, but if you have a separate calculator, a scientific calculator is the highest that you need. You don't need a graphing calculator. We'll actually use Desmos a lot, maybe use that last year. We'll use Desmos as our graphing calculator, but you're welcome to get a graphing calculator if you want. They're kind of expensive, and that's why I would suggest Desmos instead. If you have access to a whiteboard and markers, I find that a lot of students really prefer to do math, especially when I ask you to poke at a problem before giving you any direction. Like to work on a whiteboard because if it's wrong, you just erase it. If it's not quite right, you just erase it. You want to start completely over, just erase it. So I do find that that kind of gives a sense of ease when you're trying something that you might be a little uncomfortable with. But if not, if you don't have one, that's totally fine. You don't need one. That's what you got paper for. So if you have questions going forward, all of my contact information is on my Canvas page. Parents, you can enroll as observers so you can see everything your student sees. So please use that to kind of keep track of what they're doing, what we're doing, what we're learning, and email me or call me anytime. I am happy to answer your questions. I really hope that you are going to love this class. I think you will. My fingers are crossed for that. But if you ever have questions, concerns, or compliments, hit me up. Hope you have a fantastic day.